I'm here with 15 minutes to convince you that the Air Force is serious about culture change. It begins last summer, summer of 2017, when our three main strategic leaders, the Secretary of the Air Force, the Chief of Staff of the Air Force, and the Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force, set out 5 strategic priorities that would guide the Air Force during their tenure, approximately 4 years. Priority number 3 was to drive innovation to secure our future. It was turned over to us, AFWERX, as one part of that mission, to the point that it is the Secretary of the Air Force who signed the document that created this AFWERX organization. Now, we are one humble piece of the puzzle, but we knew that we were going to have to do some research. How do we drive greater innovation in the Air Force? Fortunately for all of us, it comes down to you. The history of human performance suggests that people are amazing creators and innovators if we can just put the right processes in place. Example, surfing. You want to go hang 10, right? For the United States, mostly after World War II did you see this craze take off, but it had been around for over 3,000 years in the Polynesian Islands, right? We just hadn't gone out and looked broad enough to find that innovation. So we went looking, right? So something about looking for new areas is probably important to today to think about culture change. But then, 10 years later, Jan and Dean, grab a board and go sidewalk surfing with me, right? People are adapting things that they had seen before into a new environment. 10 years after that, snowboarding and shredding begins to take off, getting more popular in the 80s and 90s. But at the end of the day, with any technology out there, human beings, if they have enough time to cultivate and think about it, can do something pretty amazing. There are deep, deep philosophical think tanks we could refer to. I personally kind of like Cub Scouts, as I tend to be a den leader. So at Cub Scout campouts, you watch creativity in action. When you hear something like this, what do you get when you cross a pig with a karate expert? A pork chop, thank you, very good. Number 2, what do you get when you cross a cement truck with a chicken? Yeah, I saved the tougher one for the second round. Answer, a bricklayer. Now, what just happened there? Let's give you some cheap science real fast at the top level view. Your brain, you are amazing people. How many of you in the last 10 seconds actually said, I'm going to be sure I'm balanced, I'm going to be sure I breathe, I'm going to be sure I inhale? Did I inhale? I don't know, right? There are so many amazing things within your capability that occur all the time. And part of that with regard to creativity is that the different portions of your brain have these zones. And so if we can loosen up our zones and slip into implications or implicospheres and broaden out our thinking, that if you start with a chicken and then you go over to the cement truck, whoops, you let those ideas build out and suddenly you find that middle ground where you're like, bricklayer, right? So what does that mean for us? That means when you go over to see the exhibitors today and you take a look and you're like, well, it's not exactly what I was hoping for. Have the conversation. Expand from your point to their point and see where you can come up with that creative middle that would make us a safer and more effective military. I'm pretty sure most of us have some sort of phone device that, could play a little music, can answer the phone. Is it at all possible that when the people were first putting together the record player or the telephone, that they could even imagine the power that you have in your pocket, right? So if today you're like, is that the most innovative thing I've ever seen? I'm sure by the 5th record player, right? But we're laying out the foundation here. The AFWERX processes as well. We're laying out foundations so that we can build to something amazing that might fit in your pocket one day. So what is AFWERX? What is it that we're trying to accomplish? In a sentence, your bumper sticker is, we are a fusion of capabilities that connects innovators and accelerates results, both for culture, through some of the activities that we do, and in technologies, through some of the prototyping setup processes, such as Mark in the Vegas Hub is running for us here today with the Fusion event. As a marathon trotter, I'm a big fan of human performance and the research on this. And think about what we've seen in that for over 2,000 years of recorded history, we can put in Philippides, Thucydides, Herodotus, etc. By the time we finally figured out how to measure time and distance in a comprehensive way, it took 2,000 years to break the 4-minute mile. when Roger Bannister did that. But once he did that, 2,000 plus years of recorded history later, how long did it take the next person to do that? 6 weeks, right? So you sit there today and you're like, boy, I really wish we could do, okay, it might be 6 weeks away. Who's the right person to find? How do you get motivated? Because once you believe that somebody can do it, it's amazing what you can unlock and what you can do. So today, we have 2 sets of slides, apparently, because this is the other slide. So we'll work it like this. Connecting innovators and accelerating results. You have today a new, what we're calling an opportunity. If you have not yet downloaded the AFWERX, the Fusion Experience app, I am asking, I am requesting. Just go to your little app store and type in Fusion Experience, just like Mark Rocketeer Rowland said, X, no E, Fusion Experience. Please download that app. Within that app, there is a voting tab. We are asking you, because I want to know how creative the military, the academics, the business, and the other, it could be other non-government, it could be people who are just interested. We've got a tab there that's kind of important where we ask you, hey, what basic area do you represent? Can you do this for us, please? Can you go over to the exhibitors? Can you pick out 5? Because if we've got 600 people here and everybody does 5 evaluations on that app today, we can go back and look at the data tonight and start to understand who's kind of hot. We've got our own judging, but we definitely want to know what the crowdsources mean, and we definitely want to know, the military sees it this way, how did the non-military people do it? So I'm asking you, I'm requesting of you, this opportunity, right? On your phone, go to the App Store, pull out Fusion Experience without the E, download that, and use that voting mechanism, and please go to at least 5 exhibitors today, talk to them about their technology, and then it's a real simple 1 to 5 scale. I think this would have positive military impact, and we want to do some big data analysis on that this evening as part of our voting criteria. So that would be very useful. How much time do I have left, Lanny? There's a version 4 of these slides that General Harris wanted to cover a few points. Can version 4 get loaded up, please, quickly? And if not, I'll come back later. So I will just say to you that General Harris is en route to be here and really wanted to be here earlier this morning, but there were some operational issues that needed to get taken care of. So on behalf of Lieutenant General Harris, it's very important to you that I point out, where is AFWERX? How is the Air Force serious? It's not simply that the SecAF signed off on our charter. I have a weekly report to a 3-star general. A weekly report to a 3-star general. There is no 1-star or 2-star general between me and the 3-star. Similarly, we have a monthly report that goes to the Vice Chief of Staff of the Air Force, the #2 most powerful general in the Air Force, because he wants to know how this initiative is going. This initiative exists. This initiative will work because we're trying to build this large ecosystem. That app is one small piece of the one small puzzle that we're putting together. This is your chance, whether through business, whether through military, whether through academics, to tap into ultimately a network of over 600,000 officers, enlisted civilians, who want to innovate. We have a tool that should be complete by the end of summer, a virtual collaboration tool, because oftentimes the bases, here we go, fantastic. All right, so culture, I was telling you culture, 3 quick stories and then I'm off the stage. For those of you who are at AFA Florida this year, how many people have heard of the show Shark Tank? Right? Thank you. Okay, we did the similar thing with a Spark Tank where the different airmen from within the Air Force were able to compete ideas up, and a top 6 made it. And again, senior leader support. I really want to impress upon you the evidence that they're very serious about pushing this cultural change. SecAF, CSAF, Chief Master Sergeant Wright, Google executives, and then this good-looking fellow over here. Where's Big D? Where are you at? Can't see with this light. Back in the corner by the exit side. If you want to talk business development, you want to go see Lieutenant Colonel Hardin, Big D over there. Second, Tony Perez. Where are you at, Tony?
Over here.
Tony, hand up right there. Okay, Major Perez is working through volunteers. This is not mandated. This is how much we know that the airmen want to get things done. Volunteers setting up innovation offices at every base. Tony is leading that charge for us. So if you want to work on innovative projects at the base level, please find Tony and talk to him. And then lastly, with regard to our virtual collaboration tool, where are you, Joey? Joey, Captain Joey Aurora is putting together an amazing tool with his team so that by the end of summer, people, instead of having to do 5 different projects at 5 different bases, they'll be able to get on the virtual collaboration tool and everybody can work on the project and help each other out. So you, the taxpayers, are saved dollars. We are saved time, efficiency, and we build up that better collaboration, that better bricklayer, implicosphere stuff to make us more effective. Those are the main points. I hope you really take advantage of this Fusion. I appeal to you one last time to take advantage of that app. Download Fusion Experience without the E, and then make 5 votes, please. Go out and talk to those exhibitors. Expand your mind, expand their mind, and please make us a better Air Force. Now, I turn the stage over. Part of the cultural experience. We don't just want to talk military, right? You want to look beyond yourselves. So how many people have heard of the billion-dollar company Zappos? Right, a few, right? So we are blessed today to have with us one of the main Zappos members, the technical advisor for Zappos. John Bunch, who's going to be up here in just a minute. You need to read his bio to just be overwhelmed by it because he's probably too humble to bring it up, so I'll just hit a couple of highlights. Here's a guy that as Zappos was growing, I'll let him talk about the research. We'll just say the things that he did, his writings are now in the Harvard Business Review. So I'll leave you with a very simple bio of very bright, knows how to handle change, knows how to make organizations adaptive. Harvard likes the way he thinks, and Harvard has published it. So with that set up, I'll just turn the stage over. John Bunch from Zappos, ladies and gentlemen.